Welcome to Impact Signals, Social Impact at the Scale of AI. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Sarah.
It's Monday, July 27, 2026, episode 85. Today, Galicia commits €213 million to AI camera networks and satellites while wildfires force mass evacuations across Spain and France. 5 African governments back a new connectivity declaration with GSMA, and Andhra Pradesh switches on an AI platform that predicts urban floods 48 hours out. We start in Galicia, Spain, where the regional government just committed €213 million to an AI camera network and satellite system built to catch wildfires before they become megafires.
What makes this significant is the timing. This isn't a lab pilot. 241 AI-powered cameras already live across Galicia's highest-risk parishes, trained to recognize smoke patterns from 15 to 25 kilometers away, and it's switching on in the middle of an active continental wildfire emergency.
Euronews reports the system, called EUR213M, combines those cameras with satellite thermal detection and a public mobile alert app following a 2-year pilot. It's built to cut detection time from hours down to minutes.
The gap it fills is real. Galicia burned more than 118,000 hectares in a single brutal 2025 season, including its largest fire on record. Detection speed is the constraint that decides whether a fire stays a fire or becomes an evacuation order.
And the wider crisis makes the case for it. More than 267,000 people have been evacuated across Spain and France this week. Spain has declared its first-ever national wildfire emergency, and the European Union's civil protection mechanism has sent aircraft and personnel from Germany, Greece, Italy, and Portugal.
For practitioners in Portugal, Greece, California, or Chile, this is the reference model to benchmark against. Camera density, detection range, a named platform, and actual price tag. Compare your region's setup to EUR213 specs, not to a vague AI-helped headline.
Moving to Africa. 5 governments, Benin, Kenya, Namibia, Nigeria, and Togo, just backed the Abuja Declaration on Meaningful Connectivity. And GSMA, the industry association representing nearly 800 mobile network operators worldwide, formally endorsed it and joined them to launch ATLAS Umoja AI.
Exactly the kind of governance move this show tracks. 5 sitting governments, not one country's pilot, committing to technology-neutral spectrum licensing, resilient infrastructure, and locally relevant digital services.
GSMA Newsroom, corroborated independently by Tech Africa News, reports that ATLAS Umoja AI builds on the AI for Good Global Commission's momentum to harmonize spectrum policy across the 5 countries.
The constraint this removes is negotiating country by country. NGOs and humanitarian tech teams planning their next deployment in African markets now have one named framework and 5 named government counterparts to engage on spectrum access instead.
Second signal, Andhra Pradesh. The state's real-time governance society, working with researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology in Gandhinagar, switched on City Flood Alert, an AI platform for Vijayawada that predicts urban floods up to 48 hours out.
What makes this significant is the lead time. It's not just a rainfall forecast. The system issues flash flood predictions up to 6 hours before rain falls, trained on nearly 3 decades of historical Butamaru stream flood data.
Deccan Chronicle, corroborated by Swarajya Mag, reports the platform has digitally mapped Vijayawada ward by ward for flood-prone hotspots and automatically alerts government officials. Vijayawada is the first deployment, other cities are next.
The operational gap this closes is pre-positioning. 6 hours of flash flood warning is enough time to move resources before water rises. Any flood-prone Indian city can copy this ward-level hotspot template directly from RTGS public rollout.
Third signal, Nigeria. NIMET, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, signed an agreement with the Agricultural Innovation Mechanism for scale to feed AI-based weather forecasts directly into the digital advisory tools that already reach Nigerian farmers.
For practitioners, what makes this different is the delivery channel. This isn't a new app smallholder farmers have to find and adopt. It rides on an existing advisory pipeline, which is usually where good agri-tech dies before it reaches a field.
Independent newspaper Nigeria, corroborated by The Guardian Nigeria, reports the deal is part of the Climate Smart Agribusiness Partnership for Resilience, a program the federal government launched with the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the Gates Foundation, running 2026 to 2028.
The last-mile constraint is the one that usually kills this kind of tool. NIMET is promising expanded seasonal predictions and agrometeorological bulletins through 2028. Practitioners in other agriculture ministries should ask whether their forecast data rides on a channel farmers already use or one they'll have to build from scratch.
Story 5 Brief. Meta just named its AI Glasses Impact Grant recipients. Nearly $2 million US across more than 30 accessibility, education, health, and veteran support organizations, plus 5 Catalyst grants of $200,000 US each for new tools built on Meta's Wearables Device Access Toolkit.
For accessibility and veteran services practitioners already using AI glasses for hands-free assistance in the field, that's a concrete funding channel, not just a pilot announcement. The constraint is timing. This cohort's already funded, so watch for Meta's next application window and build toward the toolkit now if you want a shot at the Catalyst tier.
On the disaster watch, Tropical Cyclone Nal made landfall in Guangdong, China, a GDAX, the Global Disaster Alert and Coordination System, orange alert affecting roughly 11.9 million people, with China's emergency management system now formally activated. A magnitude 6.0 earthquake struck 82 kilometers west of Sola, Vanuatu, with no populated area damage reported yet. And the drought across Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia remains an ongoing GDAX-tracked multi-country emergency.
The link to today's lead story is detection to response speed. Galicia's cameras by minutes. Cyclone Nowell's orange alert and the Horn of Africa drought both depend on that same margin, whether response teams on the ground actually get to act before conditions change.
On the calendar, the AI for All Hackathon for Inclusive Early Warning and Disaster Resilience Solutions is open for applications now, with a registration deadline of August 5 organized regionally across North Africa by the African Youth Advisory Board on Disaster Risk Reduction, the African Union, ALF, Parapre-U, and the European Union.
If you're building anything in the early warning space, that August 5 deadline is the one to act on now. It's the kind of youth-led disaster risk track that tends to surface replicable tools worth watching.
So today's throughline. Wildfire Response AI is meeting an active European emergency in Galicia. African governments are aligning on AI-ready connectivity policy. And Andhra Pradesh just gave flood-prone cities a 48-hour warning template.
3 things to take from this. Benchmark your wildfire detection setup against Ziacode's published specs. Use the Abuja declarations named counterparts instead of negotiating spectrum access country by country. And copy Vijayawada's ward-level flood mapping before the next monsoon, not after it.
That's Impact Signals for Monday, July 27, 2026. If this briefing is useful, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out at impactsignals.ai and share it with someone working in the field.
Stay ready.